is your host, Dave Welsh, welcoming you to the Let's Visit show. Today, we're visiting the fabulous city of Toronto. I say we because I'm part of a 48-member delegation of Topsfield Fair participants. And we've come to Toronto to attend the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair. But before we go to the fair, we're going to take a morning bus tour of the city. Toronto is sponsoring Moose in the City, a program which has placed hundreds of sculpted moose throughout the downtown area. They are all different and are a great idea. Let's listen to Harriet, our tour guide.
Moose in that particular way, so that's why they're all different. Some prizes. No, they didn't give prizes, and some people, art critics, said they were disgusting. But you know what? I think they're a lot of fun. And that's what life is all about. If you can't get a chuckle and a smile somewhere, that's the way it goes. And right beside the moose there you have Sir Winston Churchill looking over that little herd. Yeah. Do you notice that he has, that he doesn't have a cigar? Right. It's because he's standing in a no-smoking area. I was wondering where a cigar was.
Our first stop is the Ontario Legislative Assembly building. The lobby displays the portraits of Ontario's former premiers. The grand staircase leads up to the impressive meeting chamber.
Yeah, that's it, a reading lamp. Okay, let me give you an idea of where we are. This is our provincial parliament building, and this is the house. We're very similar and based on the British system. So we don't have the same system of checks and balances that you have at home. We're going to have a federal election. Whichever party gets the most seats, the leader of that party will become our prime minister.
This chamber is decorated with hand-carved wood, constructed of mahogany and Canadian sycamore. In this chamber, members of the provincial parliament debate and pass laws for the province of Ontario. The west wing of the building was reconstructed in 1909 using Italian marble. Quite by chance, the marble contained the fossilized bones of ancient dinosaurs.
We have more than 5,000 restaurants in the city, so if you like good food, you can find a lovely Japanese restaurant on the right.
On the top of a hill overlooking the city is Casa Loma, Toronto's most glorious landmark. It took $3.5 million, 3 years' work, and 300 laborers and craftsmen to build this medieval castle. It was the dream house of Sir Henry Mill Pellet, a prominent Canadian industrialist, financier, and military officer. Since early childhood, Sir Henry had a fascination for European castles, and owning a monopoly business providing electric power to the city, he ventured to construct this magnificent castle on a 25-acre country estate. The Great Hall is 60 feet high with sculpted figures adorning the pillars of its oak beam ceiling. It is, of course, the central room of the castle. The hall is used even today for big band dances and public functions. Sir Henry's bedroom has been restored to its 1920s look. The walls are mahogany and walnut. The strange device next to his tub is a shower which completely surrounds the body with spray. The walls here are white Carrara marble. Lady Pellet's bedroom walls are painted in her favorite color, Wedgwood blue. Her sitting room is the most comfortable area of the castle, with great views of the turrets and downtown Toronto. And now up to the Scottish Tower on the east end of the castle. It's amazing the amount of room between the inner walls of the building and the roof. The only way up to the top of the tower is by this narrow two-story spiral staircase. And at the top, a magnificent view of Toronto, even if it is a cold and rainy November day. In the Great Hall is a Wurlitzer organ, which was once part of Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens. Able to enjoy his castle for 9 years. He fell victim to the Great Depression, bankruptcy of his business, and the death of his wife. He signed over ownership of the mansion to the City of Toronto in payment of outstanding taxes. The conservatory, with its Italian marble floor and stained glass dome, is used as an indoor garden, even through Ontario's harsh winters. It's another of the castle's prettiest rooms.
Is this like a full-time job doing this all the time?
Well, not conservatory, no. We have gardens outside. We do the gardens mostly in the summer. This is a lot of work too.
Down the road from Casa Loma are magnificent stables. To reach them, Sir Henry had an 800-foot tunnel dug 18 feet below ground. But be careful. Sir Henry's ghost might still be down here. The stables and carriage room are as magnificent as the castle itself, with mahogany woodwork and Spanish tiled floors.
In the 1960s, most North American cities got rid of their streetcars. We kept ours for 2 reasons. Public affection, and you can move more people in a streetcar than you can in a bus. They ended up in the 1970s, when we had the oil crunch, being very happy that we had made that decision.
Now on to St. Lawrence Market, a truly European-style marketplace. This is where the City of Toronto began in 1793, and part of the market structure is the old City Hall of 1845. The two-story market attracts people from all over Toronto. There are over 120 vendors' stands here, and the specialty of the house is pea meal bacon on a bun, a sort of salt and sugar-cured ham, quite delicious. The market is famous for the freshness of its fish, meats, fruits, vegetables, and cheese, all of which I found in great abundance. And here I am hamming it up with one of the fair members and a cardboard mountie. Outside the market is Toronto's Flatiron building. The locals are quite anxious to tell you that this structure is 10 years older than New York's Flatiron building. It becomes dark early in November, so let's head into the center of the city for a closer look. Toronto is the capital of Ontario and Canada's largest city. It has a population of about 3 million people. The Huron tribe called this area Toronto, which meant meeting place. When the British settled here in 1793, they named the settlement York. But since people from all over the world kept arriving here, its name reverted back to Toronto. There are more than 80 ethnic groups in the city, with sections such as Chinatown, Greektown, and Little Italy. Toronto is the business and financial center of Canada. It has the largest underground city in the world and the longest street. Yonge Street starts at the shore of Lake Ontario and continues through the city, ending up past Lake Superior some 1,190 miles away. The downtown is packed with skyscrapers of glass and steel. The BCE building boasts of an indoor street with several floors of shops and offices. Its architecture is quite impressive. Outside is a building with golden windows. Yes, real gold. There's a thin sheet of gold between the panes of glass to regulate the temperature of the building. But of course, it's the Moose in the City program which I found the most fun. I wanted to take one home. There are 326 life-size moose sculptures scattered throughout Toronto. Local artists have decorated these beasts with amazing imagination. When the moose finally leave the city, they'll be auctioned off with the proceeds benefiting Canada's Olympic athletes and local charities.